Hey guys, it's Gretchen and welcome back to my channel. So today is the first episode, segment, whatever you want to call it, of Sleeved Sundays. Whoa, get excited. So this past week was my first kind of real week dealing with my weight loss surgery coming up. Before anything, my last video I talked about how my surgery was on April 3rd. Shortly after I made that video, I actually got a call from my surgeon's office saying that it had to be moved to April 4th because he actually has to attend a conference on April 3rd. So it's not Monday, April 3rd anymore, it is Tuesday, April 4th. So it is a day later. I also will end up being in the hospital briefly for my birthday because everyone wants to spend their birthday in the hospital, right? My birthday is April 5th. So I will come home on my birthday, but I actually am going to have to be in the hospital for a little bit because I do have to spend the night after my surgery. So that's not really fun, but I think after the surgery, I'm not going to want to do anything on my birthday as it is. It'll just be another day. So anyway, this week was actually my first week on the PreOp Diet. It's a liver reduction diet. You have to make sure that your liver is smaller essentially so that when the surgeon goes in to, cut your stomach out and pull all that fun stuff out, they actually have to lift the liver up in order to get to the stomach. So the purpose of the PreOp diet is to shrink your liver a little bit, make it a little less fatty so that it's easier for the surgeon to maneuver around it. So this week was my first week on that diet. My surgeon requires a 2-week PreOp diet. Now, other surgeons do like a 1-week diet. Some surgeons do a month-long diet. Some surgeons do like a 48-hour diet. My surgeon does a 2-week diet. Now, what this entails also varies from surgeon to surgeon. When my mom went through her process about 1.5 years ago, almost 2 years, it'll be 2 years in June, she just had to reduce the amount she ate. She could still eat normally. Still no fried foods and stuff like that, nothing too fatty, but all she had to do was decrease the amount she ate. Apparently things have changed since she came through because my PreOp diet consists of basically starving yourself. They told me at the office when I went the other day, they were like, "How are you feeling?" My automatic response was, "Hungry." And they're like, "Oh good, you're doing your diet correctly then." Great. I'm so happy I am. So basically what my diet is, for breakfast and lunch, I drink protein drinks. That is it. I don't do anything special. I don't have, just some other little products. No, for breakfast and lunch it is just protein drinks. That is actually what the sheet they gave me said. So this past week I have loaded up on protein drinks. I actually went to Costco today with my mom and we just pounded all the protein drinks into my car. For me, protein drink of choice is Premier Protein. I think I talked about that actually in like a favorites video for December, I think. Costco, at least the one near me, only has chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry, which I love all the flavors of Premier Protein. The only one that I'm a little about is vanilla, and that's just because for me it leaves a weird aftertaste. But I still like it. I like it, and it's not enough to keep me from drinking it. Especially when there are 30 grams of protein in one carton. That's phenomenal for a weight loss surgery patient. That's a ton of protein in one drink that actually tastes really good. So loaded up on that. And so basically for the PreOp diet, breakfast and lunch, protein drink, you're allowed 1 dairy snack a day, 1, so it can be between breakfast and lunch or it can be between lunch and dinner. This could be anything like Greek yogurt. You just need to make sure that, sugar is low. String cheese is usually the snack I go toward. And then for dinner, you're allowed, what did they say? It was like, she said, imagine a deck of cards, and that's about how much food you're allowed. And it's supposed to be primarily protein, so, chicken, seafood, eggs, and then some starchy vegetables. So absolutely no vegetable with carbs, so corn, unfortunately, because I love corn. It's like all the vegetables I like have a ton of carbs in it, go figure. But yeah, so that's basically the 2-week pre-op diet that I'm supposed to be following. I will go ahead and put it out there that I did kind of cheat last night. Last night my mom and I went to see Stevie Nicks in concert, and going to a concert and not having alcohol is just no fun. That makes me sound like an alcoholic. Let me put it this way, it makes it more fun. Concerts are already fun in general. A little bit of alcohol just kind of ups the ante. So I did end up having 2 Reds Apple Ales, which I have a feeling is not part of the pre-op diet, especially since the point is to shrink your liver. Yeah. So yes, I did cheat on the diet, but I was good this whole week. Like, you know, I stuck to the 2 protein drinks for breakfast and lunch. I did my deck of cards amount of food. I had some great vegetables this week. And so, yeah, I did have one little slip up, but you know, I've still got another week to go, and so I'll just, you know, been good today, I'll just keep going with it. You know, things happen. Even after weight loss surgery, people have slip-ups. The point is to not make it a habit again. The point is to be like, all right, I had a little cheat, I had a little slip-up, fine, let me move on from it. It's not to be like, oh, well, I slipped up or I cheated, now I've just completely ruined it, so let me continue on these bad habits. No, the point is to realize everyone is human, everyone is gonna have a slip-up, you just move on. Another thing that's kind of changed about this past week is that I have started exercising again. Not, you know, like going to the gym and busting out the machines and you know, getting some weightlifting on and stuff like that, but I've started walking. And there's kind of a reason why I've started walking. I probably wouldn't have started walking without this reason. And I'm going to be talking about this reason more in another video, possibly this coming week. That may be my video for the week. But I do have a new puppy. His name is Ivan. He is utterly adorable. I really don't know what he is. He's kind of a lab mix of some kind. He's a very big boy. Mom and I took him to the vet last week. The vet seemed to think that he was like 8 to 10 weeks old. He's big, so he's going to be a big dog. I'll get more into talking about him in another video, but I have to walk him numerous times a day. And so having him there has kind of pushed me outside and to get walking. So we walk around our neighborhood. You know, he does his business, and it gives us a time to get out and get a little bit of exercise. And I can already feel muscle coming back into my legs, which is amazing to me. When I was at my smallest, I was almost a size 4 at my smallest. My calves were my favorite part of me. My calves were amazing, and I hate how they look now. Aside from my double chin, my calves are what upset me the most. Not even my gut, which is weird. My calves and my double chin are the things that upset me the most. And so I'm very happy to be back out now and building those muscles back up, and I hope to get calves like I had again. So yeah, nothing too crazy for this video. I'm not going to start talking stats yet until after the surgery. I'll make a video probably the day before surgery, so April 3rd, discussing my weight, my measurements, and things of that nature. And I may not put those in a video until a little bit later, because until I start seeing progress, I am not comfortable putting that information out there. I know I will be. I know I'll get there, and I'll be super proud to be like, look, this is where I started, and now look where I am. It's gonna be great. But for now, since I haven't started that yet, I'm not comfortable putting it out there. So maybe later on, I'll be like, look at this flashback, woo, woo, woo. And then I'll show that, but I will record it just so it is there. Alright, so that is it for Sleeved Sundays. These are probably not going to be super long videos like other ones normally would. You know, Sleeved Sundays will probably be just discussing briefly what the week consisted of, how I did, weight loss, you know, changes in like measurements, stuff like that. And maybe even just discussions like, you know, I'm feeling da-da-da this week, or I'm feeling da-da-da, or, you know, talking about regret. A lot of people do go through that brief moment of like, what did I do? And that scares me. I'm terrified to have that feeling. Even now though, I will admit that I'm sitting here going like, why am I doing this? And I keep having to tell myself it's because I know in the long run this is the best thing for me, and it is going to make me happy. It's not just going to make me healthy, it's going to make me happy. And I know it. So I just have to keep telling myself, you know, look at your end goal. This is what you want. You do not want to be here the rest of your life. You can do this. It'll be all fine. If you ever have any questions for me during this process, please let me know. You know, you can send me a message or you can leave them in the comments. If you are a weight loss surgery person yourself, I'd love to talk things with people. But yeah, so this is it for the first episode of Sleeve Sundays. I'm still really excited about that. I just thought that was cool. I'm like, look at that little bit of alliteration in there. And that is it for this video. If you liked it, you know the drill. Please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. I would really, really appreciate it. And until next time, bye guys.